Hello guys and welcome back to Angie's Table. Today we're going to be making a Korean breakfast part 2, and we've been doing a lot of part 2s. We did the triangle kimbap part 2 and now we're doing the Korean breakfast part 2. Today we're going to be showing you guys how to make sogogimu국, which is beef radish soup. Koreans enjoy this. I grew up on it as well. We're going to also be making one side dish, a potato stir fry with some carrots and onions, and it's going to be savory and perfect to accompany the soup. So let's go ahead and check out these ingredients. So first we're going to submerge the meat in some water, and I'm going to drain that at least 3 times before I start cutting it into bite-sized pieces for the soup. So next we're going to cut our radish, but before that we're going to peel it. So the radishes that we are using today are daikon radishes. They're a little bit bigger. I'm not cutting them too thick of a piece because then it takes a little longer to cook. The thickness that I'm cutting it is about this. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and cut up our garlic and a bunch of our scallions because I love that scallion taste in the soup. So now that all the chopping and preparation is done, we're gonna add sesame oil to our pot and add in our meat. We'll cook this until it becomes about 50% of the way cooked, and then add in our radish and cook it all together for a bit. And we'll add in about 1 liter of water. So sometimes there are these leftover icky stuff on the top. I'm just gonna take it out with my spoon. So all of this is just excess leftover blood and it's from the beef. For salt, I'm gonna add in the taste salt, which slightly has some MSG in it, but it just tastes all the better. The reason I'm gonna add some of this anchovy sauce, it's similar to fish sauce, but it's made of anchovies, and it slightly enhances the flavor. It's almost like an umami effect, and it just kind of elevates everything. And we're also gonna add in some sugar so that it kind of also adds in that sweetness flavor, but it's just a little bit so that holds all the taste together. Black pepper will be to taste. I'm just gonna add a little bit on top, about half a teaspoon. Looks good already. We'll give this all a mix. So let's go ahead and add our green onions next. So just keep some extra water, about 500 mils on hand. As this soup is cooking, the more and longer it cooks, the saltier it gets because the water evaporates. So just keep it on hand and add more as you go. For now, I'm gonna keep this on the stove in the back and we're gonna work on our side dish. Let's peel our potatoes, and we're gonna slice up the potatoes, an onion, a third of a carrot, and some green onion. So when we're cutting these potatoes, make sure to cut it as thin as possible, and with all the other vegetables too, try your best to cut it into about the same size. Radish soup, this sogogimu국, is something that I used to have a lot because it's not too spicy and it's just a very easy to eat soup.
Yeah, like the broth is clear.
Savory, you know, it's like really, it just goes down well.
Yeah, it's also hearty.
Yeah, so it fills you up till lunch, you know, when you need to go to school or when you need to go to work. Finally, we're done cutting and prepping. There's so much prep work today. Now we're gonna start by cooking our potatoes and carrots first because they're more of that harder texture. So olive oil, a good amount.
You're literally going to put all the best veggies in stir fry.
Yep. Mountain of potatoes, oh my gosh. I'm gonna add in 1 teaspoon of salt to this. Taste salt. Mix it around. So while we are letting the potatoes and carrots fully cook, do you guys know what it's time for? Today's word of the day is 잘 먹겠습니다 and 잘 먹었습니다. You say it before and after you eat. Before you hold your chopsticks, you tell the person, whoever made you food, 잘 먹겠습니다, meaning like, oh, thank you for preparing it, I'll eat well. And after you finish eating, you'll be like, oh my god, 너무 잘 먹었습니다, which means thank you for preparing the food, I ate well. It's before you eat and after you eat. So I hope you guys utilize this because this just shows that you're well-mannered. Like when people say this to someone, they're like, oh wow, like I really appreciate it. Like to the person that's making the food, they really appreciate when you say that. So I hope you guys utilize the 2 words of the day or phrases, 잘 먹겠습니다 and 잘 먹었습니다. Let's add in our onions. So now it's time to eat our Korean breakfast at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Let's try with the soup. A little bit of radish and the beef in there.
Wow.
So 깔끔해, like so clean. Isn't it good? Right? It's clean and it just goes down easily. This also settles easily in your stomach. It's not like really hard to digest it or anything.
Wow. In the fall, I'm gonna take a kimchi.
Yeah. Let's try 감자. Soft and seasoned perfectly.
Texture's perfect.
This is an A+ breakfast. You know the radish is so 물렁물렁해?
Yeah.
Very soft. And it kind of just
Melts in your mouth, kinda, but it's not like a disintegrating kind of melt.
yeah,
It's
but
like a nice.
the taste in here is incredible. Like I love 소고기무국, and I don't know if I just love it so much because that's what I was used to eating every morning. But it's seriously so good. Like I think if I made anyone this, they would love it.
Honestly, I think I'm gonna make this in the fall a lot. Because, well, first of all, Kevin really likes 소고기무국, but also like the flavor. I think because you added the anchovy sauce. Thingy, you're right. It does have a very umami flavor to it.
Yeah, it adds like a very deeper flavor.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the radish also helps that, and the beef does too. But that is just like an extra oomph. And then you know the sugar really ties everything in.
Yeah, I didn't
right?
think of putting sugar in broth. That's weird.
But it was just such a small amount for the amount of soup
Yeah.
that it creates that it's just literally like a sprinkle in a sense. That's 1 teaspoon of it, but it really just ties all the flavors together. Like that's the glue to everything in here. Like nothing plays separately.
Yeah.
Everything just like harmonizes to
It like
one.
balances really well with the fish sauce. I thought it would be too strong.
The fish sauce?
Yeah, anchovy sauce, but it really is like a nice balance.
Yeah, yeah. It's freaking incredible. I hope you guys try this out, and we'll see you guys on our next video.